Hey, so why do you do wheelies, dude?
Honestly, I just do it for the vibes, man. The rush that it gives you, there's no other feeling like it, man. Stay away from drugs, alcohol, all that. Wheelies, nothing else like being all the way back like that.
Hey, there you have it right there. Stay away from the drugs, hit up the wheelies. I'm gonna get a couple clips of you destroying it. Alright, hey, buenos dias, que onda, amigos, que pasó? Welcome back to the channel. We got the Dyna still out of commission, as you can see. I had Jackie, my wife, take the wheel off. We're going to be replacing that tire. Check out her channel. You can see all the craziness, what happened. Anyway, one of the biggest pieces of criticism that I see on a regular basis, on my channel at least, is people asking, why the heck do I do the wheelies? Like, why am I so obsessed with the wheelie stuff on these motorcycles? Like, what's the point? Why do you do it? What's your problem, bro? All that kind of stuff. So today I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to take the DRZ out here for a spin and just go over why I personally am such a big fan of the wheelies, why I'm obsessed, addicted, whatever you want to call it, what I love so much about riding on one wheel. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, like, what's the big deal, you know? So all that and more here on John's Moto Garage. Let's jump into it. All right, now just to make sure it's clear, I'm not telling you guys that you should be out doing wheelies. That's not what this video is about. Again, it's more just answering the question, why? Why the wheelie? Why do you do it? Why do you care so much about it? Now, there's a lot of reasons I understand why somebody may not want to learn wheelies or do them, or is just not even interested. Like, tons of reasons. I get it. It can be dangerous for the rider. You risk getting hurt. You risk crashing. You risk putting yourself out of commission, essentially. You know, putting yourself out of work. There's definitely risks involved with doing that. Motorcycles alone are risky business, and then you put yourself on one wheel instead of two, and you add to that. So there's no denying that. Another thing, the bike can take a little bit more of a beating. It can definitely put a little bit more stress on the motorcycle, especially when you're in that learning phase. When I was learning to do wheelies on my Harley, I burned through that clutch within a matter of weeks. I had nuts and bolts falling off left and right, you know, burning through my brakes. So it definitely it can put more wear and tear on the bike, and not all bikes are necessarily built for it. You run the risk of blowing out your fork seals. And so it can be expensive, you know, running through tires, all that kind of thing. One thing I will say, though, is for somebody who already knows what they're doing, and I'm not claiming to be an expert myself, but an expert, you know, a pro, somebody who's more efficient at wheelies, you minimize that risk. You're not putting as much, you know, strain or stress on the motorcycle as if you're learning how to do the wheelie. And then, of course, it's illegal, you know, on most public streets, or all public streets, you're not allowed to ride on one wheel, so you run the risk of getting a ticket. Again, there's a lot of reasons why wheelies just may not be up your alley. So now the big question, why do I dig wheelies so much then? One of the big reasons, when I was a young kid, I remember seeing people ripping wheelies on motorcycles and just being so impressed by it, thinking it was like the coolest thing ever. And as a kid, thinking, man, I'd love to grow up and learn how to do that at some point. And so in part, it's like fulfilling a childhood dream, which is kind of cool, makes you feel young again. Maybe it's the thrill seeker in me, I don't know. Another thing, I see it as a challenge. I've only been in this wheelie game like a year and a half or so. I grew up riding bicycles and had a blast doing it on bikes. And so anyway, I saw it as a challenge, and it was one of those things I always thought, dude, I would love to figure that out. You know, it's kind of like mastering another skill, if you will. And a challenge it is, no doubt. I'm still far from being like a pro wheelie master. Another reason that goes without saying, I have a blast doing it. It's fun. And isn't that why we ride? So if you have fun doing it, and that's what is fun for you, then heck yeah. Another cool thing is it gives you kind of like goals to work towards, and it allows you to master, like to kind of, it helps you with mastering the motorcycle with throttle control, brake, body position, all that kind of thing. Like, you're really learning how the bike works. All right, we've gotten this far into the video and I haven't even done a single wheelie. Let's jump into it. Man, I love how easy this bike is to wheelie. My Harley is like, anyway, someday I hope to get to this point on the Harley where I can just jump up in a wheelie, no problemo. I love the DRZ. I haven't ridden this thing in so long. Woo! So one of the things in life in general that's like easy to do is kind of get bored with life, and add in the wheelies to your daily routine. It helps ease some of that burden. At least it does for me. What else can I tell you about the wheelies? Another cool thing is it's not just something like, oh, you learn it and you're done. It's like there's this kind of lifespan of the wheelie. There's this entire spectrum, everywhere from the beginner baby wheelie, which is a blast because you're just getting the thrill of it and learning how to get the wheel up in the air and you're stoked on chasing it out and stuff. And then you get into where you're learning to balance it out, and then you get into where you can do combos and all that kind of thing. So it's like a pretty long, the lifespan, the shelf life of a wheelie is long lasting. So it allows you to like always be setting goals and have things you're working towards on the bike as well. So if you enjoy that type of riding, then it helps to not get bored so easily just with the regularity, you know. Yeah, like I've never really messed around with combos, like doing like a sit to stand up and all that kind of thing, but there's so much you can do as far as the wheelies. Like, I'm barely scratching the surface as far as I go. I think that pretty much wraps it up. The reality is you don't owe anybody an explanation for why you ride or how you ride or all that kind of thing, but I do get that question from time to time, and sometimes I just chuckle to myself and think, man, if you only knew what you were missing out on, bro. If you only knew. Personally though, I'm a big fan of the wheelie. I think a lot of people that leave those comments are just stopping by, don't really know the channel, and don't really know what John's Moto Garage is all about. Alright guys, speaking of the wheelie game, I just happened across these dudes at one of the local spots, tearing it up. And here's an example of some kids who are like really pushing it. Well, I don't know kids, but some dudes who are really pushing it into the, you know, into the next level. You don't even have a handbrake, dude. That's gnarly, man. Hey, let me do a little interview. I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, so do I.
Oh, what's yours?
It's a Dirt Bike Dill, DYL.
Dude, I follow you. Well, I've at least seen a couple of your videos. If I'm not subscribed, I thought I should be. Hey, my video today was talking about why even do wheelies. You know?
You gotta come out and enjoy life, bro.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
you know the vibes.
Hey, here's an example of it. Go check them out. What is it again?
Dirt Bike Dill, DYL.
Dirt Bike Dill. I'll put a link below because I watched your recent video on the KTM. Hey, so why do you do wheelies, dude?
Honestly, I just do it for the vibes, man. The rush that it gives you, there's no other feeling like it, man. Stay away from drugs, alcohol, all that. Wheelies, nothing else like being all the way back like that.
Hey, there you have it right there. Stay away from the drugs, hit up the wheelies. I'm going to get a couple clips of you destroying it. Hey, that combo stuff is gnarly. I've never tried the combo stuff. Hey, that's gnarly, dude. No handbrake right there. That's pretty ballsy. I won't even mess around with that stuff. Hey, that's ballsy, bro. No rear, no handbrake or anything.
No handbrake. You already know the vibes, bro.
That's crazy, dude.
What up, Tom?
Dude, I know you from high school, bro.
Chris Diamond?
John. Evie.
Evie.
I've been wanting to get a dirt bike, man. I've never owned one. The only what scares me is, I don't know, tendency of like hurting myself, you know, like pushing it too much. So I'm like, if I buy it,
Just right on the street, then it was right on the dirt.
but dude, you're going faster and higher and hitting the jumps.
Not fast out on the track. Maybe like, if you get better, you might. If you start hitting some of the big jumps on the main track, yeah. But still, if you crash on the dirt,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as if you crash into a fucking wall.
Right, or get hit by a car or something. All right, bro, you convinced me, man. I'm getting a dirt bike. Let me get some clips of you, dude. I'll just go up and down. What's the trick with this? It just falls?
Yeah, just lift it up.
You can tell I'm like the ultimate newbie, bro. Hey, is this kickstart, dude? Ugh. All right, first time ever on a dirt bike. I don't even know what size dirt bike this is. All right, this is crazy. That's a buddy of mine from back in high school, dude. From way back in the day. I haven't seen that dude in a long time. Anyway, he let me take his dirt bike for a ride. This is my first time hitting a dirt bike. And then the other dude has a channel that I've actually seen a few of his videos. My first wheelies on a proper dirt bike. Oh man, hey, the thought of getting a dirt bike kind of scares me because I know I'm gonna hurt myself. Anyway, no use in hurting myself on a buddy's bike. I'll put his bike back and mess around on mine. I rode for years before I even, you know, got to the point where I said, let's tackle it, man. Let's learn it. Do you have to do wheelies to have fun? Absolutely not. Do you ever have to do a wheelie in your life to have a fulfilling life? Definitely not. But I personally have a blast doing it. It is very fun. I do have to calculate the risk because there is risk involved, and then I do have to deal with some of the fallout in terms of, you know, paying extra money to get stuff repaired and the headache and everything that comes along with it. But for me, it's worth it, man. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the wheelie game. So drop a comment below. Why do you do wheelies on your motorcycle? Or why do you not do them? John's Moto Garage, I appreciate the support. Like and subscribe if you dig the content. We'll catch you on the next one. Adios, nos vemos.